Hi everyone, thank you for joining. I wanted to finally go over marker word and clicker training. So that's what this PowerPoint will be focusing on. So clickers I think are what you most commonly hear of in dog training, and they look like the little picture over in the right bottom corner. A marker word functions the same as a clicker does. So both a marker word and a clicker are meant to mark or pinpoint the exact moment your dog performs the proper behavior. So using a clicker is nice because it's a very novel, unique sound that dogs don't hear every day. However, it is an extra piece of equipment that you have to have on hand, and often we forget it, you don't have it, whatever the case might be. So I personally go towards a marker word more commonly, unless I'm doing more specific training such as shaping. So I use marker word more commonly, and you want to keep it to just a very short one small word. So I use the word yes. I've also heard the word nice or good. Trying to use a word that isn't as commonly used for other things is important too. We often say good boy, good girl, and the point of a clicker or a marker word is to let the dog know that they're going to get a treat. So if we're often saying good boy and good girl, you probably don't want to say that because you don't want your dog expecting to always get a treat. Before you actually begin training with your dog, you'll want to do what we call charge the word or the clicker sound. We basically want to teach our dogs that whenever you hear this, you are going to get a treat. So if you're using a clicker, make sure you have that. If you're using the word yes, you already have it. It's just right there with yes. So what you'll do is you'll say the word yes or click the clicker. And as soon as you do that, you want to deliver a treat to your dog. So by charging it, we need to do this multiple times over and over again. And it might be necessary to do it multiple times with different people, just so the dog generalizes to different people to make sure the dog knows that no matter who does or says this, I'm going to get a treat. Then you'll want to begin timing the word and the clicker with the actual behavior. So if your dog already knows sit, this is a really easy way to introduce this. So after you've charged the word or clicker, ask your dog to sit. As soon as your dog butt hits the floor, you want to click or say yes and then give them that treat. Timing in this particular instance with using marker and clicker word is extremely important. That's the whole point of it. So if your timing is off and you click too early or too late, in certain circumstances, this could reinforce potentially bad behavior or just really confuse the dog if your timing is off. So you want to make sure that you determine what your criterion is and then relay that to your dog with the clicker and marker word. So again, you'll say the word sit, your dog will sit, and you'll click as soon as his butt hits the ground, or you'll say yes, and then give them that training treat. So if you are in the middle of training and you accidentally hit the clicker or say the word, or even if you're really not in training, if you say your marker word in the same tone you would for your dog, or if you accidentally click the clicker, you do want to make sure they get a treat still. We don't want these to lose their effectiveness, and if we click the clicker a bunch of times without giving a dog a treat, we're doing what we call putting them on extinction. They'll then learn that the clicker has no meaning, and it could take them a little longer to learn this again down the road. If your dog changes behavior after you say yes, you still should reward your dog. The only time I would recommend not doing this is if the behavior turns into a really bad behavior. We don't want to accidentally reinforce for the incorrect behavior. However, we did already mark the behavior, so especially for younger dogs who move around a lot, you still want to make sure they get that treat. Your treat should be delivered within 1 to 3 seconds of clicking or saying the word. So if you're training and you don't have treats, you don't want to use the word yes and they do something great. You can say good boy, good job, whatever else it might be. Go and get the treat and then give it to them. But you want to reserve the word yes in the clicker for when you literally have treats right in your hand. Again, timing is really important. If you're early or late, you could be reinforcing incorrect behavior. Just as we have a positive marker word, we also have a negative, and this really only applies to actually using the word. This does not apply to the clicker. So things like no, that's enough, don't, those are all negative marker words, and you can use these to tell your dog when they're doing an incorrect behavior. So after you do this so many times of kind of mentioning to your dog, hey, that isn't the right thing to do, they'll kind of get a hang of it and learn like, oh, I'm not supposed to do that. That wasn't the right thing. So now it's your turn to go and practice. I love this clicker marker word training game. It's super fun. So get a tennis ball, a clicker if you want one, or just make sure you're ready to use the word yes, and grab a partner. And so this game is to help you focus on your timing. So one person, person A, will have the tennis ball, and person B will be ready with treats and either their voice or a clicker. Person A will drop the tennis ball, and person B is required to either click or say yes when the tennis ball hits the ground. Practice this multiple times over and over again. Have each other switch off and on, critique each other, make sure your timing is getting good, and it'll also give you an opportunity to practice juggling having a training pouch and treats and a clicker, because it is a lot of things to handle. So go practice that yourself, and I'm excited to see some of your videos. Thanks so much for watching.